All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Highway to Hell. 1991's Highway to Hell, Lee. Had you seen it before?
Yes!
Oh, that surprises me.
This is one of my white whale lost movies.
Oh.
I literally had some memory of like the devil offers someone something, and they're like, oh, like related to some sports team or whatever the fuck. And then like he's like, maybe if it was this other team, but I don't know anything about sports or anything, so I couldn't search for this. If you're like the devil makes someone a bargain, and they like, no. Spoilers, I guess. Whatever. Fuck. Point is,
this is a fun movie.
Yes,
I would definitely recommend it. It's like a worse version of Bill and Ted 2.
Yeah, listen, so like,
but that movie's a perfect movie, so that's still high praise?
To focus on the overall, like, impression, I consider this B tier.
Yeah.
I consider this stuff like Explorers, which we covered, where, I remember this, I have these fever dreams of scenes of it, and then you watch it and you're like, it's kind of a mess, it's kind of like structured weirdly, it's not great. It's just like a fun with like cool old things, cool old effects.
It's a romp
actors,
adventure.
Whatever. It's a romp. Yes, absolutely. And there's probably a lot to get into with the details of it. But we've closed the loop on something else from my childhood. You see, this is another thing. I can almost die. This is one step closer to having closed the circle of all these things. I'm so happy.
We'll get there eventually.
We're gonna get through them all, folks.
So if you've seen it or don't care, falls over to spoils, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, so here we are for the spoilers of Highway to Hell. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
So I may or may not have already spoiled something. But yes, at the end, it's like tacked on too. I got to the end and I'm like, I guess this isn't the movie. How could that be? There's so much. And like, because in my head, it was like they were about to do something. And it was like, if you do this, you're like choosing this, but like one last play. And then it's like the devil. So like in my head, it was like a devil. It was like a red man with a face. So I'm like, well, that's not happening anymore. I must have crossed my little brain wires or something
Which
like
happens.
that. Yeah, but then at the last minute, his head pops into the window and he offers him the bargain.
Hey, Charlie, suppose I made you quarterback of the Rams. Would you give me Rachel and Adam?
Do you want to be quarterback for the Rams? And then he puts on his Niners hat and says, maybe if it was the Niners.
If you'd have said the Niners, I might have said yeah. But you didn't. So go to hell.
And honestly, if you had threatened to cut off my pinky, I would have said it's the A's. I don't know why, because I think that's some other movie or some shit. But whatever. There we
It's
go.
also baseball.
What are the Niners?
Well, the Niners are football.
What are the Ravens?
The Ravens?
What are the Comanches?
You're naming things. Can't you start like an XFL team?
What are the Bismarck Enforcers?
You're thinking of Bismarck Key?
You got what I need.
Oh!
He's dead.
You got what? Is he dead too? Why is everyone dead?
We recently found out that Gilbert Gottfried was dead. For those
Everyone is so fucking dead. Okay.
Oh, most people are old.
No, speaking of which,
Yes.
so it takes place in hell for a lot of it.
It
Yeah,
plays
it's
in
cool.
hell. And
We're on a highway
it's a very
today.
weird. So, like, the slowest, worst intro credits I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
Like,
that's
they're
worth,
so long and so bad.
It looked like the PowerPoint style opening graphics of an instructional like work safety video.
Yeah.
It was insane. I never would have made through that like on my own because it goes on so long.
It's so long.
It's a static image with like PowerPoint like text just flopping
And
down for every
it changes
credit.
very slightly, but very
The
slightly.
postcard changes like what season it's of, but
or
that
day and night or
but
something.
that doesn't count. That's not a visual. So automatically, because again, I don't know that it's lost media from my childhood. I'm like, oh no, this can't be it. This movie's fake. It's barely 90 minutes. The intro, it's like an hour long. What am I doing here? Yeah.
And what's fucking, like, you expect that to be like 10 seconds and it to fade into reality, and it's like, that's the car, and that's how it, like, something.
Did I make that up? Yeah, the car doesn't start moving ever, right? It just goes somewhere else, or no? Yeah, I expect that.
No, like so bad. But like when you say it's a romp, to me, a romp means that, like, well, we don't really have a structured plot
you said
that
it
makes
was a
sense.
romp.
The proverbial you.
When one says
like,
something is a romp.
Yeah,
okay,
what
gotcha.
do they say?
Gotcha.
That's the Queen's you, or whatever the fuck that's
The royal.
The royal you?
That'd be the
Queen.
Queen's.
Well, who do you think royal is? That's obviously Queen. But yeah, so like
Could be a Duke's U. I don't know.
it's not really a plot so much. It's
No.
like a series of like video game-esque like hash points.
And it's not, yeah, it's very video gamey because it's not even like, oh, I needed to get the key from the deranged, ice cream truck man. He was just there and he just shot him. It's nothing. It's like, oh.
Well,
what?
and like our dude who sets up the whole thing, who like had the same thing happen to him, and like somehow knows the loose framework of whatever, because nothing that our boy did would have ever told us, yeah, if you go to sleep between these two trees, that's hell.
You keep your eye out for 2 Joshua trees. If you get sleepy, don't pull over till you pass the second one. You hear?
No.
Like, how would you ever learn that? Like, what would teach you that? Unless somebody explicitly told him that when he was on his adventure to hell, and then how did he get out? And what the fuck?
No, we must believe for the past 50 years he's been prodding at the edges of the hellmouth and learning
I guess.
something.
Because he has this special shotgun. He goes, that's a special shotgun.
You'll need this. It's no ordinary gun. I'll get you some shells.
What is special about it? He never says. We never find out. It has like metal clams on it. You're like, okay, that's cool.
What was it
But
made from though? What did you say it was made from? Something else metal. Was it part of a car?
It's some bullshit.
It may have been made with a piece of a hell car of like Beasel's cars.
Impossible,
or
I think, because the wife made it.
She made me this. She could make any old piece of trash look like a work of art. This was a piece of hubcap.
So she would have had to have made it before she went to hell, because she never got out of hell unless she made it
she
in
made
hell.
him a shot. Oh, that's what I thought. It was
She
like
made
after.
it to him as like a gift, I thought.
Just like randomly.
Well, they never say any
He's
of
a
this, so
pirate.
I am inferring things.
Because the bullets are special too, right?
yeah,
it's like
they're
a
special.
weird.
But how are they special? I don't know, because they don't hurt Hellcop
It
at
means
all.
something to him.
Yeah,
He means
they were
emotionally- it
special
means, like, these
with
mean
their
a lot
like
to me.
hieroglyphics written on the bullets.
Yeah.
You expect like they're enchanted or something,
Yeah.
but it's never explained. It doesn't matter.
There's a lot of stuff like that where I think they rely on us knowing the language of film and how things work.
Yeah.
But not in a way that I endorse. In a way
Those
that
are
I'm like,
key to a romp, though, because like we're not going to explain
Yeah.
this. You just know what happens.
You'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's some like literal things that are awesome, like handcuffs.
Oh my God!
So good.
So that happens really early. That happens
Yeah.
right when the Hellcop first, takes Christy Swanson.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like articulating hands that are like stop motion or like a green screen or some fucking thing where I'm like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This alone is great. And that's when I was like, I don't care. This movie is wonderful.
I think it's not even something difficult. I think it is just a hand with a
just
fake
moves.
stump that hanging this way because of how
Yeah.
they show it often.
Yeah.
I think you could just fake it.
Oh
that
no,
way.
because there's a lot of different shots where it does different
Yeah.
things. Yeah, a lot of it is just the guy with his hand like doing the
Exactly.
thing. Clearly, yeah.
Let me go!
But yeah, Christy Swanson, who we like.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe's brother. What the hell's his name?
Chad Lowe.
Chad Lowe.
I pour my guts out to you and you're asleep.
He's pretty good.
Everyone's got a Chad somewhere in their family.
Somebody.
I didn't know there was a Chad Lowe. That's why I was like, this is stupid. He even looks like Rob Lowe. And then I'm like checking and I'm like, oh no, that's literally.
So we off screen were talking about Gilbert Gottfried, but he's in this movie.
That's
that
probably why it came
wasn't
up.
that wasn't even why I brought it up earlier. But yes, he is in this.
Once it's explained, the devil will look at me and I say goodbye, devil, and he goes goodbye, Bob.
Like
Brain
the
is
Stiller
funny.
family is in this.
Literally, there's another Stiller I didn't even know about. Is Amy Stiller
His sister.
apparently? Yeah, his
Yeah.
sister, who's apparently in a lot of movies.
Would you just get over it and get therapy like I did?
No, I'm not Hitler and I should not be sitting at the same table with the Flintstones.
I can't deal with this.
Where they just need someone to like reliably fill
Yeah.
a role. She plays Cleopatra, and someone else. Ben Stiller too. He plays like a cook and Attila the Hun or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Where you're like, this is zany at this point. We're
Gilbert
we're having
Gottfried is
fun.
Hitler.
Yes.
Who's very defiantly not Hitler.
I'm not Hitler.
We've heard that story before, haven't we?
It's cool.
Pretty funny, but it's it's a romp.
Yes.
None of this is needed. It's weird.
Classified as a romp.
When
Yeah,
you first
Jerry-
see Ben Stiller, you're like, what is happening here?
Okay, in a bit of a rush. I can understand that. I'll just cook you up a fine head cheese omelet.
Well, that's when you're like, wait, what year is it? What's happening? And
Yeah.
Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed Jerry Stiller more first.
Can you do this?
because the other guy looked like Eli Roth to me when I first saw him. I know it's not him because he wasn't born yet or some shit. Fucking kids. But I was like, what is happening? What is this Ugg dude here? And then you see Jerry Stiller, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, is this
I meant to look up, like,
gem?
are they producers on this or friends with somebody? Because it seemed like a weird thing for them to be in this little, like, cameo appearance type of thing.
No,
he,
something.
like, steals his coffee and they get sent to second-degree hell or something. I don't know.
What happens when you're in hell and you get portal? What happens?
They did say there are many levels of hell, so I'm picturing each time you get a little portal sucked, you go down
to a lower level. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting framing too, the first level of hell. I really like this idea that in hell, it's just this vast open space, and you can do stuff, and the devil, like, wouldn't notice because he's not there right now, and there's, like, gangs and, like, rivals, and there's, like, places where people go hang out. Like, there's an entire society that has formed in this, like, precipice of the abyss or
in my head,
right?
I go, the first level of hell has a lot more freedom than every other layer.
Yeah.
Because in this, it's just kind of like a shitty place. It's like, this is Vegas off the strip. Like, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
And like, okay, there are living beings in hell that, like, the devil brings in, like, occasionally to make the next, like, messiah of devilly shit or something.
He's working on projects and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, that's when it clicked too that this might be my long lost movie, is when the dude picks him up in the car and there's some reference it's like a tow truck, right? He's like, his car breaks down in hell, and then the kindly dude, and like, he doesn't want to trust him at first, but there's like a kid with him, and he's like, I'll fix your car, and it's like, oh, maybe he's a dude.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Diesel.
But then something on the car says like Armageddon or hell or something, and I was like, oh, that's the devil. That's the guy who's like, oh, I'll make you the quarterback of the thing.
It's a AAA joke, I think.
Yeah, it's something. There's like, but there's little zany references in the background of a lot of stuff too, where it's like, oh, hell or something. Yeah.
Yeah, what is the cop car doesn't say protect and serve. It says like to fucking
to like
do something horrible and fucking shit on you.
To oppress and murder or something. Yeah, some fucking yeah. And there's like a little commercial, like a diegetic commercial where it's like Styx beer. It's the most toxic, most deadly beer with the most impurities. Like the opposite of like, flowing from a cool mountain stream. Coors is like whatever, right? It's like a funny little.
Styx beer is a third more toxic than any other regular beer. The worst beer. The filthiest beer, the deadliest beer.
And like, those are not funny to me, but I understand that they are jokes, so it's fine. I get it. It's okay.
Hellcop has a great look to him.
He does.
I love the words etched in his face. I think that's like pretty cool. His whole like does the fucking like pentagram symbol and like it unlocks and unlocks the door. I was like, okay, that's cool.
That's quite a little hand gesture.
And even the old effects of when they do like the glow that I love. We can skip to the end, like when Hellcop gets killed and like the glowing beams of light and stuff. I'm such a sucker for that ever since like Ghostbusters, whatever else. Yeah, like whenever I see that, I'm always, it's like a warm like whatever. So when they break his glasses and like his demonic energy is like leaking out and he explodes and stuff. It's this great ending.
Yeah, I didn't understand that exactly. So like he came back through. He lost the race and the devil's like fuck it and sends him through anyway. I guess to bring him back.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't believe the devil's a man that would play fair anyway. So I'm
and of course not. Yeah. A lot of the things along the line I didn't understand. So like the guy who runs a gas station, his soon-to-be wife or whatever gets lost in hell, like 50 years ago.
Okay,
you don't age in hell. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Way back about 50 years ago, we drove out from Oklahoma.
It would be nice to bring her back. Maybe if there was a sequel, we could have had something like that because she's not dead. Like the devil like brought her back, right? Because doesn't she give like a thumbs up while his son is dead, or like the one he took who run the motorcycle gang or whatever? He appears to be dead, but her hand I thought made a thumbs up at the end.
Well, she's not dead, I know. Yeah. But I just thought that was because she didn't die.
Oh, I thought that the devil did something and then, and then it cut to her hand. Yeah.
Oh fuck, maybe. He's gesturing here and there.
He's like so.
He's up on the hill like watching like it's a Civil War thing. Yeah. He's got champagne and a parasol and he's watching the race and stuff. Yeah, it's very stupid. But
so
yes.
She's still there
Clara.
And she alludes to like, don't go in there. You'll have to make a decision. I made a decision once and I got stuck here.
But if you take the shortcut, Charlie, you're gonna have to choose. And if you choose wrong, you're gonna be lost. You and Rachel.
And I was like, okay, so what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, she says like the devil tempted me. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like if you choose wrong, you'll be stuck here or something.
But so like, as far as I understood, he chose wisely and just popped right back out the same door. He didn't get to use the shortcut.
No, they say if you're there for more than 24 hours, you're stuck.
No.
So I think the devil tricked her in some way that made her get stuck, just get stuck
maybe.
or something.
But
I think.
when he was told to go that way, they said it's a shortcut. And he went in there and he did the right thing. He chose wisely. He did not get deterred.
Sorry, just not my type.
It's like a weird sex demon, whatever, like succubus, something.
That's
like that.
after that, I think. No.
No, that
the movie's
was
very confused.
That was, as far as I recall, that is the like you will be tempted in the shortcut.
I thought that happened after. It's kind of a mess. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, the sex demon part is awesome.
I like just knocks her into like the fiery hell pits. That was cool.
Yeah, the bed that they were gonna shtup on is actually and just opens up. It's very unexpected. It's very like whatever. No, the makeup on the weird demon was really cool, and the stupid. It's like old school effect where like you see it in the mirror, and there's nothing extra. When she stands up though, and it just like crossfades to like the demon, I was like, that's funny. That's just we don't need to do an effect right now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I thought
her,
it was too easy though. Like when Hellcop dies right there, you're like, wait a minute, what?
Oh,
and you're not going to take like the gun and stuff?
He just gets a lucky shot off, right? And it's like, yeah, he's no match for Hellcop. There's a lot of fights. Yeah, it's cool though, because I think Hellcop is played by a guy who plays Jason at some point or plays somebody.
You may not know specifically C.J. Graham or Kane Hodder, but if you say Friday the 13th, the hockey mask, people go, oh, Jason.
There's
he
some
reminds me
trivia
of Rucker Hauer, like a thin Rucker Hauer, but he's not. But he has a look to him.
I like his look. He communicates well. I don't think he has any lines. He's doing his thing, right? Yeah. And like they make it very clear because he even in that demonic temptation scene, he even just breaks through the like you hear him coming up the stairs and you think whatever's gonna happen and you're waiting and then he just breaks through the wall. Just like, oh no, I'm not fucking around.
Even as a mirage, he's a badass.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's hit and miss though to some extent, like I'm saying, right? Because in that same scene where there's the temptation demon and he fights the Hellcop, they do like the spinning around thing or whatever.
Yeah. And that's goofy.
Well, like one of them's like passable, like from a TV show, but then it cuts, when you're being spun around and it cuts to like the face of like the. The one for Chad Lowe is like you're just like moving the camera like this or something. Like it doesn't make sense. The angles don't make sense.
No, it doesn't. From like this no nonsense fucking Hellcop dude. Like that's the movie you would do. But you're like, oh, it's not really him. It's like the mirage version of him in hell.
What do you mean?
When he's spinning around, that's the succubus's thing. Like that isn't actually Hellcop.
No.
No.
Oh.
His stuff all disappears, and then Hellcop comes back later. He didn't kill him.
I thought that was just the rules of hell. That Hellcop
I guess
shall return.
that could be inferred. I took it as nothing was real inside that mirage location. Is how I thought it was.
Well, the car disappears later too in the same that's like a glitch effect too. I don't know what they're going for, but the car disappears, but he drove that car away. It like the demon's dead now or whatever. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
But I like that we can have these different takeaways of like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I just naturally
that guy's the ferryman. What do you mean?
That was like what she believed Hellcop would do, and because she's scared of him, he bursts through the wall and he's doing weird bullshit.
Nope, just cops being killed.
Him like in Jimmy Hoffa's place, he's fighting a totally different style, and like.
No! Let me go!
He's really taking no shit. Like his gun looks so bad as a prop though.
What? Huh? Embarrassing, big guy. Embarrassing.
Like it's this weird, big, really flat. I'm like,
it looks like it's carved out of a single piece of something.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah.
But things that look good. I love the stop motion Cerberus. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love how his dog is like a team player and it's literally just taking the piss to distract him. I'm like, okay, get him, boy.
And the dog's chained, and he's like, you're not marking your territory right here.
Yeah.
I owe you one, buddy.
The dog starts freaking out, and he's like, I owe you one, and runs by. Yeah, it has that romp, that's the Bill and Ted. That's the romp vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's like, oh no, we're cornered. There's no way out. Pull this thing. Oh, and go down a chute, and you're good, right? Yeah.
There's so many Bill and Ted-esque things, like the Andy Warhol throwing trash people that are on community service, like anti-community service.
I called them the demonic Oompa Loompas.
Demonic Oompa Loompas.
But I did also see someone say, like, they look like Andy Warhol, and I'm like, well, they do. But it's just funny that there's these, like, because they're wearing, like, Hell's version of, like, high-vis and hard hats. They're like, they're like workers and stuff. Like, that's dumb. I like that. Do you get sentenced to being one of those guys?
Like, those kind of things are unclear, because like, that's the kind of thing, like, idiots would say spitballing at the table to write the movie. Oh, yeah, so it's hell, so it would be the opposite of goodness. They wouldn't be collecting trash, they'd be spreading trash. But then, like, other things don't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's funny.
But that's like the beer joke where it's like, and like, I actually hate that. And I feel like that's something that cool comedians, like people that would go on Opie and Anthony would like make a joke of like, oh, but you see, this is hell. So we actually say, oh, you know, bad morning to you, ha ha ha, or something. You know, like that is the worst, cringiest, that's like a literally like ages 3 and under type of joke. Like we can't do
But
this.
based on like everything else in this movie, that's not the demographic. They're going for
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
so
like one of the first things you hear is like, I don't want to have sex in the Pinto or whatever.
Charlie, not in a Ford Pinto.
Just close your eyes and picture a Porsche.
Just how she calls it out, like by the car name, like, and it's the worst car.
Not in this piece of shit.
It's like a pizza delivery POS.
Yeah.
1972.
So okay, here's a take. They were like, it's illegal. You know what we're doing. Is it illegal to get married? Did they steal the car? Like what's illegal here?
I wasn't sure, and they never said it. So my thought might be she's supposed to be a lot younger than he is, or like maybe they're both young and like, oh, we're not even allowed to like go across state lines. Or like, I don't know what the fucked up thing could be.
I don't know what they're worried about.
Whatever they did. And they didn't say, and it wasn't a hell-worthy thing. Like the devil didn't mention, like, oh, and you stole that money. I'll see you soon.
Because they say we didn't even get married yet, as if like the devil would be upset. Like is that a crime? Or are we just so modern that we don't understand that people used to be like, no, you like you can't get married without your parents' permission, no matter how old you are. Like is that a thing? I don't know what's going on.
I don't think so.
In the desert? No.
Maybe they stole the mother's dog. I don't know. My thought is that she's under 18 and just leaving in general is like, no, you need your parents' permission to be like, no, they're gonna put out an APB because you're not home by curfew. Like that's how I took it.
Well, so like yes, like the parents could have said, oh, the car is stolen and my daughter was kidnapped, and then it's like the chase or something. Right? That's fine. Ironically, with Christy Swanson, but no, the guy says it's illegal. Like he thinks it's illegal too, whatever they've done.
Think about it. I mean, if your parents freaked out, they call the cops, right? What we're doing is it's illegal.
Don't worry about it.
Well, he's like a square too, so I could just see him thinking that.
He sucks, yeah.
When he accidentally pulls a shotgun on a cop, like, oh shit, like that's great.
Where's you son of a bitch? Oh shit.
And this is one of those things where I'm like, there should be consequences to face later on, because yes. It flashes forward. He comes back in time, exactly kind of where he left. Which I'm like, that's pretty cool.
And he arrests the guy or whatever.
Well,
he arrests Charlie.
He tries to arrest him, and then Hellcop like beats that dude down. So I'm like, at now there's like assaulting an officer. There's pulling a gun on an officer. There's escaping police custody because you were handcuffed. But then it just goes on to say like a little text card of where they are now.
I don't know, but this is back in the day where like no one's gonna know. Like that cop was so frustrated with like the kids' car portals away, and that cop's like, oh, tarnation, because now he's like, there's no way to get them now. There's no helicopters. There's no states don't even communicate at this point. Ted Bundy can just do whatever he wants.
Even now, you find shocking things where states don't communicate.
These are the good old days of crime and stuff. So I'm willing to believe that. But you've mentioned what I think is the necessary bookend. We've mentioned the postcards from hell opener, and now at the end, it just cuts to the end. In my notes, I'm like, that's it? Like you end on that? What the fuck?
Not even still pictures of them. Okay. In the future.
They know that audiences, maybe themselves, maybe a test screening, had the same reaction. That's it? You're going to end on that? So they were like, oh shit.
What's free? Hang on.
Write some text and have it scroll before the credits. Exactly. Listen, how how different would my overall impression be if this ending was like a 7-minute long thing with like bloopers, Hellcop staring, breaks out laughing, and then it says Hellcop is still serving Beazle and the whatever, and then it cuts to each guy, and it's funny. It doesn't have to be bloopers. You can do serious stuff.
No, but
you can do stills. Just make me feel something. And
like an Animal House ending, like something good.
Do joke ones. The demon is still falling. That pit goes on forever. Do some funny things.
Yes.
Make me feel like that was a romp. Thank you. Now it's like a fucking funeral at the end. It's so dour. It sucks.
The ending almost felt like it was written by someone who didn't watch the movie.
As well.
I wonder, and maybe I misinterpreted something, or there's a time loop that I'm not aware of, but doesn't the movie start off with him and his paranoia looking at a cop playing a video game called Highway to Hell? And then doesn't his ending card say, and he invented the game Highway to Hell? And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? That game exists in the universe already.
No, he develops 3 games entitled Hell on Wheels, Dog in Hell, and I'd Rather Be Living.
Okay.
And we don't we don't know what those games are. I picture point-and-click adventure games.
I picture arcade games.
No, this guy can't handle that.
He can't do anything.
Well, listen,
it's all illegal.
Just the idea that he goes on to be a video game developer. Oh yeah, the most sought after and like heroic of occupations. It's never hinted. He's never like, I'm good with computers. I can't save my girlfriend. Wah. There's nothing to hint at that.
That was popular at the time, so that's what he does. And the only thing we see Christy Swanson's character not like is working in a pizza place.
Choice number 1 doesn't look so hot. Barefoot, pregnant, up to your arms in pizza pies.
So of course she goes on to own 2 pizza places.
And well, because now they're hers, and if you're in charge,
you like barefoot and pregnant and cooking.
Yeah, and they mentioned the fucking violin bit or whatever, right? Which was her temptation or something. So they're trying to work in these things of like, hey, you can still achieve what the devil was going to help you do through good old-fashioned hard work or something.
I feel like at some point they needed to like show her listening to violin or liking violin or even having a violin, because it felt just so, I'm like, is that what she wants?
You could have it all, Rachel. Fame, fortune, every note sublime. Just have faith in us and forget about sorry old Charlie Sykes.
They're in the car, all right? Music's playing. She's like, turn that crap off. He's like, what do you mean? You only like that classical crap. What are you doing?
Yes.
She's like, I'm studying like, just have a gun.
You could have made a funny
anything.
joke where it's like, that stuff makes me fall asleep. And then they put it on and she falls asleep. Yeah. Oh, it would have been great. Right? I wrote this movie.
There's so much potential. Like anything like that. That's what I meant by this is like B tier. It doesn't have that thing that like an A tier movie does, where as I pick it apart, I just find new exciting gifts in like the whatever. This is just like, it just
it has enough to be like a taste of a Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, but just a taste.
Cool setups, like, good premises.
It's things like you could see an idea and go, oh, does this happen? Because it would give you the idea of something cool, but it won't happen.
And you're like, where's this going? And it is not going. It is not going. No. There's like, we can't really show a clip to like, capture this effect, but there's several points where you can tell from like a screenplay or maybe in the edit bay, they're like, how do we connect these 2 things? Like, he's here, he needs to be there, like, what do we do? And they just
do them back to back.
Well, like eventually they give up and do them back to back because they run out of like the in-universe commercials or the weird conversations that you could be having. And like, I know time of day and it's it's in this fake hell dimension. Maybe it's not the same thing, but there's several points. Like the most egregious bad editing or like bad whatever is when all the cars are going on the highway and stuff.
Bugs.
First of all, his like hot ass car is like a Duesenberg. Fucking, I hate all the cars in this movie. I know you like cars or something.
I like his car.
That's just so stupid. I'm about to say 90s.
The cop car is no Interceptor, but it has its charm. But
with the wide,
all the bugs I thought was funny, and I would have liked a Hitler reference there, like yes, the German Volkswagen, yeah.
They're so old and shitty to me. I'm like, that's my least favorite type of anything, but that's a personal aesthetic preference. They're all going. I love the highway signs that are like pandemonium, infinity, like purgatory. Like whatever.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
That's a fucking marquee scrolling like deli sign later, which is also funny because of how shitty it is. But with the cars,
the spray painted sign, which is like the nostrils highlighted, I was like, that's creepy and weird.
The graffiti,
like that.
That also jogged a memory in my brain of like, that's something I remember, and I don't know if I do. But the cars, there's like a million lanes, they're all going through, and they have to communicate that now we're going into like a tunnel, like a cave or something. Mm-hmm. But they cut to a shot that's just those cars, and it looks like it's at night because it's so wide and weird, and then it immediately cuts to like a tiny cave where it's only our boy and stuff. And then he goes over the cliff from like Mad Max Fury Road and barely doesn't make it and then just walks the rest of the way. It's this very, and there's no other cars. There's no cars behind him. There's no crazy tunnels, which I understand they don't have the money to show.
Wait, did
like,
he even go over the cliff? I feel like he just stopped before the cliff.
No, he did. And, you know, he stopped and the car's dangling and, and then he just gets out and he goes, "Aw, shucks," and he leaves and stuff.
Yeah, what a fucking chump.
Fine, whatever. But what happened to all the other cars?
I think that was the leap of faith moment, though. I think had you done that, well, he like took a side exit, and that's what took him to that cliff.
Okay.
And like it was stupid, but I think it's one of those things where had he just gunned it, he would have shot over and like popped out. Because on the inverse,
the car
when
goes.
he pops out, he shoots over and lands right past where his car is. I'm like, you should have crashed right into your own car.
It's like it's weird. A lot of the spatial stuff was weird, but yeah, the you know, in the cop car now at the end, they make the journey through the things.
Yeah, and like he could have rolled it off the cliff, but he like shot it in the engine or something.
That ought to slow down.
Yeah, well, yeah, for you know, for the cop car, I thought it was weird because cinematographically, when that when his original car is dangling, that communicates to me that car is like done. Because he didn't back it up, so I'm assuming he can't because the wheels and it's like stuck or something like that. I don't know if it's rear or front wheel drive, whatever the fuck. So I'm like, okay,
probably rear.
That car's done though. I know the movie's telling me that. Then when they all are like on the run on the way out, they just go, they slowly back it up. There's no pulling or winching or figuring it out. He doesn't use he doesn't use Hellcop's car to like pull it or push it or do anything. There's no reason why he couldn't have continued with his car before, right? Why didn't he continue with his car? Okay.
Well, because he had to go on the river with that blind dude.
Rules are meant to be broken, but once you have crossed, there is no way back.
I like that there's like long pieces of stuff. Like it was almost like hastily, his eyes are sewed shut. I like that.
I don't know. I've mixed feelings.
It's got a good look. Little dangly bits. Speaks to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a walking geek. Get those shoes on and start doing it. Walk.
They discard the Andy Warhol Oompa Loompas for real Oompa Loompas with huge wrenches. It's so funny.
Yeah. There's a part that you catch, it's only on camera for like a few seconds, where they have in a little display case, almost like the flower from Beauty and the Beast, it's the apple that got bit.
Oh no, in like Satan's bedroom or whatever?
Yeah. No, just before, I think it's in like the hallway.
In the run up to it?
I can't remember if it's when he's going to the bedroom or coming from the bedroom. But
did you like that he's being chased by like reenactor cosplay?
Art?
Yeah, like
the first use of a morph suit ever?
The impressionist monsters. Yeah. Yes, the art monsters, and they shatter like they're made of plaster when he gets one or whatever. I'm talking about the toy soldier looking guys, the French Revolutionary, the redcoats or whatever.
Hey, you!
It's like 4 different types
There's
or something.
There's a lot of looks going on there, from like the building itself to Satan. Honestly, looks really cool.
Great. Like the eyes are really unsettling.
They're slightly like off kilter.
Yeah. She can be magnificent with my help. She can do anything she wants. It is Rachel's choice.
Which makes them like that much more sinister.
It makes it more alien than just like, oh, that's reptilian or that's cat-like or that's whatever. It's like it almost looks like that thing where there's 2 in there, but they're like connected by a little.
It's like red, black, and yellow.
It's really interesting.
Combo.
Yeah.
Now that all the visuals are interesting enough. Like some of them play more than others, but in general, pretty good. Like the coffee shop itself, like weird play sets and characters and weird shit.
Just to the rim.
That's a joke. A funny joke. Well, laugh if it's funny. Laugh. Up there.
Coffee.
Just as a quick aside, I think his name's Steve Johnson. There's a special effects documentary. The guy who did this is some famous special effects guy this is one of his things, and he did a thing where he talks all about what he did. He's Linnea Quigley's husband, and it's this thing where people know. I'm not super into that, but just for the people, in case you want to dig deeper, there's some materials out there.
There's a clip of Linnea Quigley's workout here.
Oh. Last thing that I want to mention, because we can't close this discussion without specifically highlighting that this old. It's not a Duesenberg. Is it a bug? It's not a bug either, right? It's some other Volkswagen.
Oh, no. His car?
Yeah.
It's like an old cruiser or something. Like it's
cruiser?
Something awesome.
You might get to hell on that Pinto boy, but this one'll get you back.
Awesome?
Yeah.
It looks like a... Okay, it looks disgusting.
It's like a mob car.
It looks disgusting to me, whatever it is. It's like...
It's cherry, sir, it's like, until it gets destroyed.
It's curvy in all the wrong ways. Speaking of Cherry, Clara, the, like, undead Royce's chick, is Cherry 2000. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
But
You're not gonna find anybody better than me, mister. I'm not a machine.
She looks familiar.
I was gonna say she's also from like I probably knew her from Twin Peaks, but I don't know what character she is. But I know you like Cherry 2000, and I've never seen it.
One day.
And now we will because of the Clara connect. I thought that's what you're doing is like leapfrogging movies that have people in them, and you grab another star, and we keep doing it. There's a method to your madness. No, the climax of this is similar to the Fast and Furious in that the car has NOS. It has a fucking thing underneath.
I see a switch. I think I know what it is.
And she's like, I see a switch, I'm pulling it, and they go. It's so stupid.
Well,
it's great.
He tried to tell him, he's like, that car is special, and you think like it has the ability to drive you through hell portals, or it can do this and that. Honestly, when he goes to hell, they say, oh, don't fall asleep between these trees, and he gets there going, I believe.
No.
I believe.
Sam says, drive back and forth between them old juniper trees and just believe real hard. And he's like,
That's the
I'll try it.
shit ever.
It's hell. It's magic. What do you mean it's stupid?
It's stupid.
It's not stupid.
It's stupid.
It's magic. The trees, the magic of the trees.
I didn't know why the trees. Like, is that something in the Bible?
There was an awesome, like they do this several times where there's like a musical sting to indicate that something is sinister. And because I don't know, is it no, it's not a juniper, it's Joshua Tree, right?
Yeah.
And that's like a famous, I'm like, okay, was it U2 or someone, or Pearl Jam? Joshua Tree is a thing? That's a thing. I know about this. In the desert, the trees, but they show it out the window in the dark, and they show this fucking normal looking tree, like, in the desert, but they play like a boom, like this noise, like, oh, and then I'm like, I guess that's the tree that we're supposed to be on the lookout for? Like, it's not it's not like a thing that's instantly recognizable or that stands out, right? It's like a normal thing to see there.
Yeah, I think when you say a Joshua Tree, I just picture that like scene in the desert where there's like one tree
There's
and nothing else for a
there's a
while.
little tree in the desert. Yeah, exactly. They could have said it's a big. Oh, but behind that big cactus, there's a hell, and you're like, okay.
Behind that cop speed trap is hell.
He says there's a road. Inside the road to hell. You see.
It's a little crazy to me though. Like that cop, is in the the 3 mile zone or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Where you could, if you fall asleep or doesn't that, you go to hell. You're telling me that guy's in there speed trapping this fucking desolate road? He never falls asleep?
If he did that, he would just be like a missing persons forever.
I guess.
And then they would send a new cop in there.
Honestly, him having a little station just outside there is weird too. Like, he's not warning people. He's not he's giving them a little haphazard nothings. You'd think he'd blow up the road or do something.
He says,
where do you get the money to even get a gas station?
He says, you look tired. Maybe crash here.
The kids look pretty tired. I got a cabin out back, nice bed, clean sheets. Won't cost you a cent, and I'll guarantee your privacy.
Because if you fall asleep in the next 500 feet, you're going to die or something.
Yeah.
You're going to be doomed to hell or whatever.
Free of charge.
Right? I used the NOS to speed through the place between the two trees, you see.
He gave away everything so quickly.
It's
He's
that
not a good guy.
It's that old guy, like looking back and forth in the car with Vin Diesel, though, in that race at the end where they're about to go,
Just him going, here, take my precious shotgun, the only thing my wife ever left me. Oh, take my car and all my gas and antifreeze. You'll need plenty of antifreeze.
And it's free of charge.
You expected that to be something too, like him use the antifreeze for something.
Better take this antifreeze. It's gonna be hotter than hell down there.
It's all right.
No,
there's nothing. I love it. I think it's great. It's like the quest. It's like the thing. It's like, oh, finally someone who can do this. Say hello to my wife for me. Or he says, get her back or whatever. And he's like, it's not happening.
I still hold out hope. We're done.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com. Pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Highway to hell.
The highway to hell?
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our experts expert staff opinions you can really trust. Come